Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan here. Welcome to a very highly requested episode of Dan's Thoughts. And that is, of course, the fairly recent and very extreme riots that occurred in London and the greater, mainly the London area, but spread throughout England as the days went on. Now, I made this video because of all the requests. And, I'd say it's about time I give my thoughts on it. Plus, if you guys noticed there, I have a brand new intro. I made it today. Just thought it'd be a nice way to debut it. Anyways. So, as you guys know, the riots occurred, I believe the date was from August 6th to the 10th. So they finished fairly recently, and from what I've heard, okay, we'll start from square one. Basically, how it started was a young black man. I believe he was about 29 or 30, something of that nature. Can't remember his name. Forgive me. Actually, hold on. I actually have it right here. His name was Mark Duggan of Tottenham, North London. That's where the most of this took place. Now, the reason behind the riots, apparently, according to police, Duggan was in the act of possibly avenging his cousin's death, if I'm not mistaken, and they thought he was his cousin or his brother. I don't remember correctly. Forgive me, my homework's bad, but I only had a few minutes to look at it. But from what I know, and they assumed he was going to make an attack, but there was no actual guarantee that he was actually going to do that. So basically what happened was, before he could, even if he was going to do something, he didn't even show a weapon or anything, but they just had an alleged, you know what, let me find out. I apologize, people. This is kind of stupid of me, but I have it here and I don't really want to memorize anything. Yeah. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, it was on suspicion of a planned revenge attack following the fatal stabbing of his cousin. That's what it was. Yeah, so he was going to. They were thinking they thought he was going to avenge his cousin's death, but there's no evidence to prove that. So what they did, they shot him, and it was fatal. So he died, and a lot of the London people looked at it as multiple things. One, they thought of it as a hate crime, and they figured that, it's just because of the color of his skin. That was one of the reasons they didn't give him a fair trial, so to speak. They didn't arrest him, they just shot him, and that was their main reason for that. Now, number two, a lot of these people thought that the cops were just displaying police brutality, and that the cops went too far with this one, especially considering who they were dealing with here. Now, these riots blew the Vancouver riots to shame, let me tell you, because these riots were huge. They I believe the total damage was over 200 million pounds in damage. And I can't remember what the pound is to the dollar, or Canadian and or American dollar, depending what you're looking at, but I think it's a pound is equivalent to 2 point some dollars or something like that. I can't remember what it is. But so let's just guesstimate and say about $400 million worth of damage. Holy. Because it started off in London. That's why people call it the London riots, But as the word spread and things happened, people all over the country were rebelling against the English police force, which I get, but they went about it the wrong way. Now let me explain this here. If you guys remember seeing my Dan's thoughts on the Vancouver riots, that was completely different. I was so mad at the fact that these random people were destroying other people's property, and they were doing it over the stupidest reasons. They were looting for the sake of looting. A few of them, like I said, were what do you call those guys? Not renegades, but I can't remember the word. But extreme. It's like extremist, but damn it. I'm drawing a mind blank here. I'm sorry, people. But anarchists. There you go. I knew it'd come to me. Anarchists. They thought they were started by a group of anarchists whose intentions were to cause damage and destruction and basically go on a huge crime spree. This wasn't the same. This one was a little more serious, and people figured that they had a heartfelt reason why they were rioting, and that I support, but I don't support the way they went about it. Now, I don't think that the cops should have just gunned this man down without any proof, but they had to keep order somehow. And now that's the thing, a lot of cops, whenever they shoot somebody, they instantly say, oh, this guy was just a kid, or oh, this guy wasn't even doing anything wrong. Well, look at it this way. If a guy's on PCP and you don't kill him, he's getting up. So they have to, they're trained to kill. They're going for kill shots. That's why they shoot him in the chest. It's how they're trained. If you don't, it could be the end of your life. So I don't like the fact that everyone holds the police in such a bad regard, but it doesn't make, like I agree with the rioters, but at the same time, I don't. I mean, obviously, like I said, I don't support rioting in any way, shape, or form. It is probably one of the worst things you can do, because it's destruction on your own city, pretty much. Now, what they originally did was they targeted the police, like the headquarters, the cruisers, etc., etc. And but eventually, random things like little shops, private shops got attacked. You know, just things that weren't involved with this got attacked, and that's when things got crazy. You're just thinking, okay, already you're hurting the police, and on top of that, you are basically hurting people who didn't hurt anybody. Just like with the Vancouver riots, that's when it starts to piss me off again. And they have no right to do those things. Like, they have no right to loot. They have no right to destroy other people's property. It's obvious. I mean, it makes sense, does it not? But I think that the riots definitely got out of hand. I do believe the police should have taken better measures to deal with this Duggan incident than they did, instead of just shoot him down. I do agree with the fact that they had a right to riot, but I don't believe they should have rioted. It's not the way to go about it, and it definitely isn't the way to avenge somebody, because avenging death really isn't a way to do it. Like, you know, the police were just doing their jobs, and I know people are going to hate me for saying that, or a few people are going to be like, how could you think that, you know? But honestly, like I said, I know police. My brother's in the police force. They're aimed to, their job is to kill. So, not kill, but like, if they're in doubt and they detect suspicious activity, and they see maybe an arm on some guy's person, or they see a suspicious attack, like an attack stance, so to speak, they are trained to shoot him. And if need be, like, I'm sure the police gave him warning. They say, police, stop where you are. Don't put your hands up. They'll tell them that. They won't just shoot them. There's a code they have to do. Or not a code, but a set of rules. It's just like reading someone their rights. Same type of thing, but these people don't understand that. So when they hear it in the press, they're just like, oh, this cop just gunned down an innocent man. And I'm like, I'm sure he was told to stop moving, put your hands up behind your back, whatever the routine would be. And instead he kept coming at them. What is the cop going to think? He's going to attack me. That 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen. So what did the cops do? They shot him. It had to be done. I'm sorry, but again, people try to blame the cops. Like, I remember hearing this one local story where this 17-year-old kid, well, I guess he's not really a kid, but you know what I mean, this young guy, and he robbed a convenience store, a gas station, and he walked out. He had a knife on him. He didn't have a gun, but he had a knife on him, and the cops told him firmly, drop the weapon, get down on your knees, you know, the whole routine. And he kept coming at them. They shot him. They shot him in the chest. That's a kill shot. And he died from it. And then everyone's freaking out. Oh, he was just a kid. He didn't do anything to deserve it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, he did. If the idiot is stupid enough to come at a cop who's holding a gun, armed police officers who are holding weapons, and they're aiming them at you, telling you to drop the weapon, you better drop the damn weapon. It just makes sense. So this whole situation got blown out of proportion because people don't understand that the cops have rules. They don't just shoot. That's not how a cop works, okay? They have to tell them these steps. So I don't agree with the rioters on this one either. I understand, like I said, why they did what they did, but they had no right to do it, and they know that it wasn't a hate crime. I'll bet you anything, dimes to dollars, that they told him to stop what he was doing, like put his hands in the air, drop whatever, and come forward. And then if he was innocent, nothing happened, they'd let him go, and none of this would have happened. You see what I mean? So really, you got to blame Duggan on this one, because he probably didn't listen to the cops when they told him what to do. And when a cop tells you to do something, you better damn well do it, because things like this can happen. So I don't know. Very long-awaited episode of Dan's Thoughts for the London riots. A lot of people wanted to get my thoughts on it. I want to hear what you guys have to say. The London riots were pretty severe. Although I gotta say, I'm not. They're a little international for me, so to speak. But the people in London and England itself, not just London, but the entire country of England, are probably feeling the effects of this riot. And my heart does go out to all those people who were hurt. I mean, there were a bunch of people who were hurt and killed even. I remember an old man. He was like maybe 83 years old. He got beaten, and he died in hospital 3 days later. That is uncalled for. What are you doing to that guy, huh? And I know a couple of women, there was a hit and run involved, there was just a woman got beat, I think, things like that. There were deaths. That's the thing, in the Vancouver riots, there were no deaths. There were deaths. A lot of deaths. Well, not a lot, but a significant amount to declare it. For this whole reason, it's unnecessary, and these people should have known better, that it wasn't a hate crime. They weren't out to get him because he was black. They weren't out to get him just because they wanted... they were like too extreme with their force, with extreme police brutality. They were doing their job, and this guy neglected to follow their rules, which is something everyone must do, and he paid the price for it. And unfortunately, so did the city of London and the country of England, because these stupid people don't understand how it works. So that's my feeling on the issue. I think this all could have been avoided if Mr. Duggan over here actually listened to what they said and didn't try to put up a fight. But he must have knew some people that had his back, which started this riot, which caused a chain reaction throughout the country. So it's unfortunate, but things like that happen, and basically all we got to do is take a life lesson from it and think of what we can do. But so far it seems 2011 is the year of riots. There's a lot of riots going on. Major scale riots that everyone keeps talking about. But I think it's really pathetic. I think these people need to stop rioting. I don't know what the hell it is about rioting that everyone gets their jollies off to. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about the riots. Let me know what you guys think about it. Post in the comments any thoughts on the issue if you're from London or anything. If you know anybody who was involved in the incident, maybe like a hands-on kind of thing where you could say, I witnessed this happen, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to hear it, because I'd like to spark a debate up. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dan's Thoughts. Once again, comment on what you think of this whole issue and incident. I think it's really severe and serious and very unfortunate, but you can't control the idiots in this world. You really can't. But once again, you guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter. I have a Cafe Press website. And I'll put all those links in the description if you want, because like I constantly post updates on Facebook and Twitter, so you guys know what I'm doing pretty much every day. I'll post an update about something regarding current events or something that's happened or something that will be coming up, etc., etc. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, follow me there too. And if you want merchandise, there's merchandise. I know I just gave you a bunch of ads, so to speak, but you don't have to do them, but they're there if you want to. Anyways, guys, once again, thanks for watching. Join the conversation, and I'll see you guys very soon.